Hello, I am going to practice my speech for tomorrow. It's Toastmasters speech, and I have to set my timer here. That's what I'm doing. So I'm going to start this. It is to provide humor before the meeting begins. So here we go. Hit and start, and then I will go. Good afternoon, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests. Today I bring you the gift of laughter. I never went on a typical spring break in college, but I did go on many road trips in my life. As a youngster, I went with my parents, siblings, extended relatives, and whoever else wanted to go on our Big Blue bus on a trip to Washington State for camp every summer. And I have to tell you, the journey of 1,000 miles does begin with a broken fan belt and a leaky tire, and sometimes worse. But those are stories for another day. If any of you has traveled, these will tickle your funny bone. One day at a bus stop, there was a girl who was wearing a really tight mini skirt. When the bus arrived and it was her turn to get on, she realized her skirt was so tight that she couldn't get her foot up high enough to reach the step. Thinking it would give her enough slack to raise her leg, she reached it back and unzipped her skirt a little bit. She still couldn't reach the step. Embarrassed, she reached back once again to unzip it a little more. Still, she couldn't reach the step. So with her skirt zipper halfway down, she reaches back and unzips her skirt the whole way. Thinking that she could get on the step now, she lifts up her leg, only to realize she still couldn't reach that step. So seeing how embarrassed the girl was, the man behind her put his hands around her waist, lifted her up onto the first step of the bus. The girl turns around furiously and said, "How dare you touch my body that way? I don't even know you." Shocked, the man says, "Well, ma'am, after you reached around and unzipped my fly 3 times, I kind of figured we were friends." Have you ever gone to a place and since you weren't a local, you weren't quite sure of the vernacular? That happened to this couple. A man and his wife were driving their RV across country and were nearing a town spelled K-I-S-S-I-M-E-E. They noted the strange spelling and tried to figure out if it was Kissimmee or Kissimmee or Kissimmee. They grew more and more perplexed as they drove through town. Well, they were hungry. They decided to pull into a place to get something to eat. So at the counter, the man said to the waitress, "My wife and I just can't figure out how to pronounce the name of this place. Can you please tell me what it is and just say it really slowly so I can understand what it is?" The waitress looked at him and said, "Burger King." The best part of the trip, or at least the most memorable, can definitely be the journey, but ultimately we begin so we can get to the destination. Get to the hotel, get settled, and finally make it to the beach. What's the worst thing you can hear when you're wearing a bikini? Good for you! That's it. Thank you, Toastmaster, fellow Toastmasters, and distinguished guests.